pass across to Lucas Castle. Castle's then going to fetch his ball forward. He's the Australian, taking down 12 away from his line. Carter initially in at dummy half, then comes across to Owen McCarran, spotting the blonde locks. Slim Shady 2003-esque Owen McCarran alongside Jack Mason out there as well. Ross Ainley now continue to fetch the ball forward for Whitehaven, the former Kells man. He's taken down just over the 25 metres away from his own line. Newton then gets it across to King. King runs at Wilkinson. Tom Walker, former teammate of course, all involved alongside Roman Silva. Silva taken down there.
King against Walker. Oh.
It's some battles out there this afternoon. Lucas Castle's the man fetched down on the 5 and last. Newton is going to go right into the hands of Jamie Doran. Doran just behind the 40. Cresswell is going to be there, but he's collected on the full there as Luke Cresswell, 15 metres away from his own line.
Yeah, he's done well there, Cresswell. The pressure was on from the Raiders this time. Clearly something they've worked on after that 44 points to 8 defeat against Widnes. Keep them back, because 80+% of the sets 2 weeks ago now in that Vikings game were played from the Raiders 10 metre mark, and they had lots and lots of work to do. The first set of this match collected by Cresswell on the 15, eventually tackled just past the 20, means the Raiders have already got a better start to this game than they have against Whitehaven. Tom Wilkinson now then goes flying through inside the Whitehaven half. He finds himself 40 metres away now from that Haven line. Ramon Silva always takes a few men to bring him down. He gets a good offload away, and Raiders are trying to number up on that left hand edge now with Greenwood. He cuts back onto the middle into the inside. He's brought down 20 metres away, so it's a great first set attacking wise for the Raiders. As we come to the end of it now, then with Ryan Johnson, who kicks that one up high. Great kick chase as well, but it's going to be met highest by a Whitehaven shirt, and they're going to start this one just off their own 10.
First touch in a Whitehaven shirt for Nathan Connell, the Loney fullback fetched in from the Salford Red Devils earlier this week, and he was pretty much pinned straight away. It's Will Evans now looking to fetch his ball forward, but he was stopped just over 10 metres away from his own line. It's Jake Mason also sporting that Slim Shady-esque. Asked about it a couple of weeks ago, and he went, just what I've got to do, isn't it? Typical Australian attitude for you, isn't it? But Curtis T is now fetching it forward for Whitehaven. The winger has been pinned there by 3-4 Raiders defenders initially, definitely 3. Newton's then going to come down this short side into the hands of the former Raider, of course, Rio Corkill, put down onto his back. It is the 5 and last, sort of 40 away from their own line once again, a Whitehaven into the hands of Carter. Once again on this occasion it's going to be Ryan Shaw to collect it on the full. The Raiders 22 away from their own line.
Once again Raiders defence keeping Whitehaven that time for a full set inside their own half, so now Barrow start off their own 40, but what a turnaround from that game a fortnight ago over in Widnes. Shane Toll now then, who shouldn't have been in the team this afternoon. I think he was initially planned to be the 18th man. He's still carrying a bit of a niggle to his leg, I believe, so he takes Barrow up towards the halfway now then. Former Whitehaven man Tom Walker goes darting through the middle. He gets inside the Whitehaven half. Great carry that time by the big Raiders forward. He gets that ball out now to Ramon Silva. He wrestles and ducks and weaves his way inside the Whitehaven 40, going down that left hand side now then. Josh Wood to Johnston. He's kicked that one over the top. He's going to be testing Nathan Connell, and that test has become a failure for Connell. He's dropped that ball. It's just ricocheted off his knees. We've got a coming together here. It's quickly being separated, but Raiders now find themselves in a fantastic opportunity 10 metres away from the Whitehaven line.
It maybe seemed to just take a bounce a little bit higher than what he was expecting there, Nathan Connell. He's maybe been told about that right hand side corner that it can be soft, and was maybe expecting it to be a little bit lower to the ground. The bounce just seemed to take him by surprise. It just sort of caught off his arms and then his knees, and just wasn't able to collect. There was Nathan Connell, and the Raiders have the first real opportunity, less than 4 minutes on the clock.
Straight out of the scrum now then, Matty Costello flying towards that right hand corner. As we look at the pitch here, and Cresta did say that left corner from warm-up was very, very soft. Twice now Ryan Johnson has made his kick towards that corner, and it could become a target area throughout this first half as Raiders find themselves less than 5 away from the Whitehaven line, going towards this left-hand side once more. It's almost found a ball. Great flat pass to Tom Walker. If he just can't battle through that Whitehaven defence, he's going to be stopped a few metres shy. As Whitehaven are trying to shuffle the defence across now, and as Raiders look to go down the short side, a big dummy from Ryan Johnson, but he's run into a wall of Whitehaven white shirts there. Raiders still find themselves 2, maybe 3 metres away from that line, looking for the first points of the afternoon here. Once again going with a short ball over the line. The referee has said no. He's still shy on the last tackle now then. Raiders setting up on this right hand edge. If they can just get the ball over, here comes the ball now then. It's going to be Jared Stack. Looks for the offload in front of the sticks. They've got big numbers over on this right hand edge. Get the ball out to Bullman. Andy Bullman on his return to the team. It's only took him 4 minutes, and he's gone over the line for the Raiders on his return. It's try number 1 1 for him for the 2024 season. The scoreline here at the Rec, it's now Whitehaven 0, Barrow Raiders 4.
Just able to get the numbers and pull the numbers in with the Barrow Raiders attack. Just sucked Whitehaven into sort of that middle, and then coming into that right hand side, it was sort of what, 2 on 1, 3 on 1 was labelled up. The ball had come wide right to Andrew Bowman. Curtis Tier to try to get there, but just not enough strength being able to show there from Curtis Tier. Nothing against Tier, just Bowman had too much to just go over the top of him, only just, and put the ball down in that right hand side corner. As you mentioned, on his return to the team, his first competitive appearance of the season for Andrew Bowman, scores against his former side once again.
Yeah, great start for the Raiders, fantastic stuff, and it came from almost out of nothing there, because it was a captain Jared Stack that on the last tackle opted to head towards the post. He turned his back on the line, managed to throw an offload over the top. The ball eventually found its way all the way over to the right hand side where Andy Bowman was there to pick up the pieces, and all he had to do was basically ground that ball in the corner. Fantastic start for the Raiders, and it's something we picked up on. Both teams use the edges at the start of this game while the pitch is still not as soft as what it's going to end up being in about an hour's time, and it looks like they've done that. Andy Bowman on that wing going over. Raiders 4, Whitehaven 0 here, BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, and now Ryan Shaw has a tricky conversion attempt from this far right hand side. The Kells then doing their best to put him off.
Doesn't miss them often, does he? Does Ryan Shaw, even this far out? 15 goals already this season. Has the Raiders winger number 2 on his back.
He's kicked that one up high, it's gone through the centre, and it was as true as you like. It's a sure thing from Ryan Shaw. The scoreline here now at the Rec, it's Whitehaven 0, it's Barrow Raiders 6.
You've had your gag book out again, I say then.
I won't lie, Ellis Gillum taught me that one at Witness a few weeks ago. He said it every single time, and I promised I'll carry it on.
You wouldn't have been able to use it too much at Witness then, were you?
I know, I say every time. Yeah. He had three opportunities, one was a penalty, yeah. But nice one, I like that one, Jordan.
Getting back underway, kick off from Jay Carter, bounces in front of Ryan Johnson, then finds Tom Walker, who's going to fetch the ball forward.
Big massive run from the former Haven man, of course, takes Barrow past that 20 metre mark inside their own half. Big roar goes up from both sets of fans as Tom Wilkinson goes flying in there, comes off the shoulders of Newton. It's eventually grounded on the 30 now then as Josh Wood gets his play underway. Jared Stacks finds some space, he's got a good offload away there to Matty Costello, who's cut back in towards the middle, brought down on the halfway, quick play the ball. Josh Wood now gets that ball out towards this left hand edge once more as Ramon Silva takes that ball, says thank you very much, I'll take that inside the Whitehaven half. As Barrow now then with Walker. Brad Walker that time kicks that one over the top. It's a great kick as well, very well weighted, and Whitehaven have had to pick that one up just past their own try line, and again they're going to start off their own 10, calling for the high tackle there, and it's not given. 1895 Cup that have been given. I think we've gone on about this high tackle and obviously everything that's going around rugby league at the moment. First couple of weeks of the season that had been given, but it was given as a shoulder initially there by referee Matty Lynn, was in the man in the middle a few weeks back in the Ike Southwood victory for Workington against Whitehaven. Connor Holliday is now fetching this ball forward for Whitehaven. He's taken down just short of his own 30 metre line. Newton's gone down the short side. James Newton into the hands of Jamie Jordan, and Jordan through on that right hand side, and he's got Jake Mason on him to join there. He's going to try and do a Luke Cresswell. He has been able to do a Luke Cresswell there. There's Jamie Jordan just trying to hand one or two off. Fantastic work from Jamie Jordan on that right hand side. It is the 5 and last. Newton's gone down there into the hands of Will Evans. Evans is going to try to put the kick forward, and Cresswell, has he been able to get there? If he has, that's fantastic work from the Raiders fullback. But Whitehaven did look dangerous down that right hand side. Raiders living dangerously. Yeah, missed tackle after missed tackle there on Jamie Doran, turning back the clock. The Whitehaven half back with a kick to boot towards the end of that set. Great work from Cresswell to get back and manage to clean up the kick. But now Raiders 2 tackles into this set, they're still just playing in front of their own 10, and they are living dangerously now then as Ramon Silva gets a great offload away to Jared Stack. He's just created some space for himself over on this right hand side. Stack cuts back in towards the middle, stopped on the 30, so it's a good 10-15 metres gain that time. There's Matty Costello now, fast ball away to Walker. Walker once again, Raiders every time here they're trying to turn in the tackle and just keep the play alive while they still can, because this pitch is due to, especially if it brings any rain down, it has been forecast, it's going to be a completely different second half performance. A kick on the last goal towards the Whitehaven 10, collected, and that's a fantastic shot straight off the bat from Ryan Johnston.
Certainly was on the Haven fullback Nathan Connell. Curtis T is now going to have to fetch his ball forward. Ryan Johnston always seems to be up for these Cumbrian derbies, and Jared Stack was in there on that tackle as well. It's now Rio Corkle. I imagine he'll be up for this one as well. Will Corkle, of course, spent time with his hometown club last season following his release from St Helens, but Mason now is going to be looking to try and break that line. He's not able to on this occasion. He's taken down exactly on halfway. Newton lining weight at dummy half. He's going to come in the middle to King, who gets the cross to Ross Ainley. Combines Silver looking for the offload. It's gone back there. Yeah, it's into the hands of Jay Carter. Messerlich come down then left to Corkill. Corkill then looked to go back inside. Didn't maybe want to go 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 even there with Andrew Bullman. And it is going to be the 5 and last. Just 30 metres away from the Raiders line. Newton going to come across to Jake Carter. Carter's going to put the kick in. Cross field. Jake Mason's going to be looking for it. Rises the highest there, does Jake Mason. Comes off his hand, comes off his leg. Then he's going to be surely ruled forward. Yeah, and then going to be coming back for the turnover ball on the 5 and last. But Mason definitely rose highest there. Is it Ryan Shaw on that side? So maybe something Whitehaven will be looking to utilise throughout the afternoon.
He tried everything in his power to keep that ball alive after the initial pat forward off his hands. He then flicked his back heels towards it, and now this Whitehaven defence are giving Barrow absolutely nothing. Raiders trying to play off their own 10. This Whitehaven line is shooting up, getting straight in the blue and white face of these Barrow Raiders players. 15 metres out now then. Tom Walker for Barrow up towards the 20. Good strong carry that time from the former Whitehaven man. 25 metres in front of their own line now was another early kick from Ryan Johnson.
It's going to be a block from Conor Holliday. Can Holliday get there? Can he collect it cleanly? Or is it Owen McCannon? It's Owen McCannon. It could be, and I'm just double checking. You know, it is Conor Holliday on that side, and he's backed down just short there. It's Conor Holliday, only a metre short. He fairly got that ball down, but it's now into the hands of Lucas Castle, the Australian. Short once again there is Lucas Castle. It was fantastic work from Conor Holliday with the initial block down. Newton then going to come across to Jake Carter, the former Raider. Of course, he's been wrapped up though as he Jared Stack in the middle there rather than his usual edge berth there. He's the New Zealander. 10 metres out now, Whitehaven into the hands of King. King runs. Tries to hand off there Ramon Silva, but taken down just to the left hand side of the post. 12 and a half on the clock, attacking the Kells end in this first half of Whitehaven. Goes across, Jamie Dornan puts a little clock in there, and it's going to be there. It's Nathan Connell for his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. The Salford Red Devils loanee. Jamie Dornan initially looked to be took out from the kick, but Connell reacted the fastest, and it's now going to be Haven 4, Raiders 6 here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online, just into the 13th minute.
Duran seen the space at the back there. Sloppy Raiders defending. He got into the space. James Greenwood it was. He just couldn't turn quick enough. As he tried to turn to bat that ball back and roll it dead, he slipped right on the spot. Nobody was near it. First person to it was getting that try, and it was Whitehaven levelling the scores up now. Then it's going to be a simple conversion attempt for Carter, the former Raiders man, of course.
How many times are we going to say that throughout the afternoon? Former Raiders man, former Haven man.
I know.
Just have a look. I mean, Corkill, former Raider. Jay Carter, former Raider. I think that's it actually. Yeah, Perry Singleton was the former Raider if he makes it up for the 18th man. Andrew Bullman, former Haven. And then is it Tom Wilkinson, former Haven. Tom Walker, former Haven. Brett Carter, if he makes it from the 18th man, former Haven. Tom Forber, former Haven loanee. How many times we can't keep otherwise it's all going to say all afternoon, the former Haven, the former Raiders man. But Jay Carter lining up this conversion, comes at it left footed, scores. Level here at the recreation ground. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online makes it Whitehaven 6, Barrow Raiders 6, and just a couple of other scores from around the championship. I'm not going to give you any scores from Saints Wigan because I know a few of you might be recording it this afternoon. It's there, Dan, if you want to see it, but just I'm not going to say anything else. In the championship, 2 o'clock kickoff was this one with the 16, Swinton 10, and at Doncaster it's Doncaster 0, Sheffield 6. That was a 3 o'clock kickoff, so around about 14-15 minutes.
I was recording that one.
It's not on anyway. Don't wind me up. But yeah, I'm not going to give any scores out. I won't give out. Yeah, we might give the whole KR Hull FC score out later on, so we'll keep an eye on that. And that was a full-time score. That was a 12:30 kickoff. Was that one in the Super League? Rivals round in the Super League. Rivals round in the Championship. It feels as well in here. It's Haven 6, Raiders 6.
It sure is. Ryan Shaw now then is going to kick this one off. He's just waiting to put that ball on the kicking court. He's not too happy about something there, and neither are the Whitehaven fans. Decent crowd today as well, isn't it, for the Derby day?
Yeah, I was just looking along the right outside, so the majority of the grandstand full to our right and left hand side, so a big crowd coming here to come see Cumbria's leading 2 professional sides of course this season as Lucas Castle now fetches the ball forward. He's the Australian. He's going to be wrapped up on the 20-metre mark. Newton lining Weir to dummy half, then comes across to Owen McCarran. How did I get McCarran and Holiday mixed up with McCarran spotting that slim shady look? I don't know. Ross Ainley's now fetching this ball forward for Whitehaven. He's going to be put down onto his back, just short of his own 40. Newton going to go right then into the hands of Ryan King. King met there Wilkinson, Silver, Josh Wood. Loves to get amongst it, just Josh Wood, doesn't he? Lucas Castle's going to take Whitehaven to just over the halfway line, but as I said, Josh Wood involved. Once again, it is now the 5 and last. Jamie Doran's going to put that kick deep. Cresswell just has to turn. He's lost that as Luke Cresswell. He's done well to regather it though, take it backwards, facing the Kells end, and he took it just on his own try line. It means he's being wrapped up 10 metres away from his own line. Fantastic kick there from Jamie Doran.
Safe hands, Luke, there from Luke Cresswell, of course, another present so far in this Raiders team. Kudos to Josh Wood as well, living up to his reputation as a ginger jukebox, or the M6, as Ellis Gillen liked to call him a few weeks ago. Raiders now then playing off their own 10. Not making many metres here, just one up rugby at the moment as Ryan Shaw tries to break through that Whitehaven line. Up towards the 20 now, the Matty Costello's trying to find some space on this right hand edge as we look at it. Raiders playing from left to right, of course, playing away from the Kells end for those listening at home. As Costello's told to go back a metre or so now then. Discipline is key for both of these teams this afternoon, especially for Raiders after being punished heavily for their poor discipline, as Shane Tornow's almost brought through the line. The great carries up towards the halfway line on the last tackle. So credit to this Whitehaven defence, but now the referee has blown his whistle and he's going to penalise Shane Toll that time.
Incorrect play the ball, Dan. Incorrect play the ball. Coach killer on the 5 and last. You mentioned discipline is key. I was going to mention it. We're into the 17th, just about to tick over into the 18th minute here. Still no penalties. Only stoppages have been the tries here for both sides. So discipline good in the early going. Both sides will be looking to keep that up, but it means Whitehaven have played that ball just over halfway, only a metre or so. And it's now going to be Will Evans to fetch that ball forward. You can hear the Whitehaven fans in fine voice over on that far popular side, trying to back John to goalie's side. James Newton's going to go right, Doran, and then got to the cross to Connor Holiday, who can say with the try assist, really, it was his charge down that was able to do that, and it's going to be Shane Toll that's down on that side. Seemed to have picked up a bit of a knock there as Shane Toll. He was holding his head initially, and I'd imagine the physio and the doctor, you imagine he's going to go for the HIA straight away. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but Toll's got a bit of a history with Hendox. Am I wrong in thinking that?
He's well, you lose track these days of players that go off with concussion problems, but Shane Toll, he's one of the many of these Raiders players. I mean, he's not suffered with it too recently, but they are having a look at it now, and he could be
just saying the doctor down below, and I think the doctor is going to want to see Shane Toll, the match doctor just down below us. He's keeping a keen eye on that, and Shane Toll initially, you could see he was just trying to get back up, and it was sort of like slow motion initially there for Shane Toll, and it is going to be a head introduction, so maybe Emsley goes in and Shaw. Well, I mean, it's going to be a big
reshuffle now, because the Raiders have gone quite forward heavy on the bench this afternoon. I mean, it's no fault of their own, just the short on numbers at the moment, but Charlie Emsley is not a natural. I mean, Shane Toll's playing at centre this afternoon, and Charlie Emsley, I'd be surprised if he goes at centre. So just having a quick look now, and I think
Greenwood the centre maybe. No, Stack's going to go on that side.
Jared Stack's moving over, so they're going to put Jared Stack on the centre, it seems, and Charlie Emsley will replace him at second row. While Shane Toll, he's walking off in front of us here. He doesn't look too groggy.
Bit of claret, just a little bit. I wonder if he's just picked up a knock. Nothing. Yeah, he's got a bit of claret there as Shane Toll. But in the meantime, Ryan King's now going to be looking to try and fetch that ball forward. He's met by 3 Raiders defenders. It's not very often you see Ryan King taking a backward step. He's playing this ball, 35 out from the Raiders line, goes right to the hands of Jamie Doran. Doran with the early kick, just looking to split Cresswell and Shaw, and he did, but easily collected by Cresswell. Then comes back inside to Shaw, but Shaw isn't going to get away from yet again a combination of Jake Carter, Jamie Doran and Ross Ainley are going to play this 10 metres away from his own line.
They're definitely testing Luke Cresswell at fullback for this opening 20 minutes, and he's so far so good from the Raiders fullback. As now penalty against Whitehaven. They're all offside that time of the Jordan.
First one of the afternoon, referee Matty Lynch says you're all offside, and that's into the 20th minute, so it's up until the 20th minute to find that, and that is criminal. Absolutely criminal.
Missed touch.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson, it wasn't even close to touch. and Nathan Connell there spins out of one tackle, spins out at and Paul Craig will be absolutely ripping his hair out with that one. Ryan Johnston, all he needed to do was fine touch, but he tried to make 45, 50 metres there, did Ryan Johnston. Far too much. He was trying to find game on, and Whitehaven now have ball in hand. Lucas Castle is the man to try and step inside. I think Whitehaven just seemed to be maybe trying to emulate the offload game there. We're seeing that the Raiders have showed in this early going. Good tackle there from Charlie Emsley, who's able to take down Rio Corker, looking for the fast play of the ball as James Newton scooted from dummy half. The new Whitehaven captain King looking to nearly step back inside, but can't get away from Josh Wood, and the combination of Ramon Silva. He's now the 5 and last for Whitehaven. It's going to come to Ross Ainley, then Jamie Dorden's going to put a look cross thinking Jay Carter's there. Jay Carter! That's his second try of the season for Jay Carter, and it's the former Raider. We said, how many times are we going to say that this afternoon? Former this and former that, as you always seem to get in a Cumbrian derby. He was the man to react the fastest. He had a space of around about 10 double-decker buses either side him. That's all he needed was Jay Carter. Put the ball down underneath the sticks. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It is now Whitehaven 10, Barrow Raiders 6.
That was magnificent. That was rugby league played at its finest. Absolutely. Get out the Orioles, Jordan, because this time they're splitting up on the Barrow Raiders defence, aren't they?
I don't mind you saying it there. Don't mind you saying it there at all, my friend. But yeah, just fantastic work there. It was just Jamie Dorden just seemed to be looking one way, kicked another, and like you say, it was only Jake Carter that was on the same page as his fellow halfback. Maybe been trying that on the training paddock earlier this week of Whitehaven, but it's come off, and it's going to be Jake Carter attempting to have the extras on to his own try.
And Jake Carter was enjoying celebrating that one in front of the Kells end, wasn't he? Mixture of fans over in that far side.
I hope he wasn't kissing the badge. we found out what that meant at half time a few last season, as Carter's able to tag on the two, so it is here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Haven 12, Raiders 6, and that all stems from that silly mistake from Ryan Johnston, looking to find 45, 50 metres on his kick rather than say even 30 metres. And they've been punished at Paul Clary's side.
The irony in that as well, when Jared Samet left during the pre-season, and a lot of the talk was that, well, at least Barrow might start finding the touchline a bit more on the penalties now and then, and Ryan Johnston goes and does that one. He was going for an absolute rocket. Maybe some might think kind of unnecessary when you think that we're only 22 minutes into this game.
There was no need for it, was there? You could understand if they were trying to find, points in the final minute. They'd done it in that Monday night game when it was 20-all. Yeah, I expected then you're trying to find 50 metres or so, but there's just no need in it there. But that kick-off is now going to be collected by Carter. Then Lucas Castle is the man to fetch the ball forward. The Australian, 15 metres away from his own line. 23 minutes here. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. Haven 12, Raiders 6. Ross Ainley, the former Kells man, is going to be looking to fetch this ball forward here. And Crester's not quite happy with something. He's coming down there after just having a look at a couple of communications with the backroom staff. I think they're struggling to hear them on the radio, so maybe decided just to come down and get the message down himself, has Paul Crary. But Newton's going to turn from dummy half, then into the hands of Jake Carter. Of course, just gone over for that 4-pointers, Carter. Just over the 40 now, their own 40 now. Whitehaven's going to come across then to King, out the back to Jamie Doran, then back inside to Connor Holliday. Holliday's going to try and get round there, but he's going to be taken down 5 short of halfway. Newton's going to go right into the hands of Jamie Doran. He's the 5 and loss, so that kick's going to come long once again, and Cresswell's going to catch there easily on the full, 10 away from his own line.
Looking at the pitch as well, Jordan, and it's holding up better than what I initially thought, I won't lie, and maybe that's completely going with plan A rather than move to plan B at the moment, and we are seeing a lot more speed from both of these teams, but Whitehaven have just been on top for at least the last 10 minutes now on defence and in attack. And you can see here, they're just keeping Barrow way back inside their own half now, struggling to get up towards that 30-metre mark as Charlie Emsley takes his first run up. 5 or 6 metres gain that time from the man with that fantastic mullet. There's Barrow now then up towards the halfway. They make their second interchange. This one is first unforced one as Tom Walker comes off the field and Greg Burke goes on. Raiders find themselves within 40 metres of that Whitehaven line. On the last tackle now then with Brad Walker. He's cut that one up high towards the sticks. Work to do for Connell, but he's done well to collect that one.
He has the Salford Loney, and just fetched it to around about 12-13 metres away from his own line. Tia in there at dummy half. not able to collect it cleanly, but no sort of knock on or anything from like that to you. Just seemed to take an extra half a second or so, and it meant Jake Mason didn't have as much space to run into, so he was wrapped up. Jamie Jordan in a dummy half on this occasion and finds Rio Corkill. Corkill's going to be put down onto his back, 22-23 away from his own line. Jordan still in dummy half here, then comes across then to Curtis Tia. Tia steps inside, tried to get away from Emsley, nearly got away from Josh Wood, but Matty Costello comes in to complete that tackle. Newton then finds Lucas Castle. More into the middle now, Burke, Wilkinson, Costello involved as well there. It is the 5 and last, short of their own 40 of Whitehaven. Carter's going to put the kick in left footed. Cresswell's having to run, but gets there on the full, and a bit further up the field there is Luke Cresswell, and it's met, he's fetched down. Very good tackle by Old McCarran, but he's fetched down just short of the Raiders 40.
Yeah, fantastic opportunity for the Raiders now then, probably the best chance in about the last 10 or 15 minutes in terms of field possession. Done well defensively to keep Whitehaven way back that time. And now the referee blows his whistle, and once again he's telling Ryan to just go back a metre or so to play that ball. Ryan's trying to get on with the play. The referee has now stopped the clock. He's not too happy with Barrow here.
He said, yeah, I've told you to go back.
He's still
yeah, he's now saying Rio Corker, you're too far away.
Right. But he's never too happy.
Just let them get on with it, man.
I know, sometimes, I mean, like we said earlier on, the refereeing standards compared to the opening pre-season in the 1895, it has improved. They have relaxed a little bit, and it is helping the game flows. Raiders now then up towards the 30, going down the short side once more with Johnston. Gets that ball out to Greenwood. Greenwood is still carrying that ball downfield. Is eventually going to be stopped on his feet. Now he's taken to the floor. 12 metres away from that Whitehaven line. He tries to get that play of the ball quickly away. It's over the top to Ryan Shaw, back on the inside. Is that a bit of a death ball that time?
Ross Ainley coming from absolutely nowhere, but the touch has just come in, and is it Ryan Shaw on that side who's onto his back? And I think despite the heroics there of Ross Ainley, I think we're about to see a Raiders penalty. Just seeing the touchers come in, and it's very rare you see them these days come in, wave the flag, and I think Shaw's just been taken late. I don't think high or anything, but he was just taken, maybe he'd relaxed, and I think we're about to see a Raiders penalty as Whitehaven getting ready to introduce Guy Graham and Dalton Desmond Walker down to our right hand side.
It's one of them ones where you see the player commit to the tackle before the ball was being released, and you do feel for them at times. There's nothing you can do. I mean, Whitehaven have kept possession here as a referee now. Matty Lynn, he goes over to speak to the touch judge, still in conversation as Whitehaven believe they're going to continue to play here, but Barrow are also setting up for the attack, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what comes of it, as it's Jared Stackett is back onto his feet now, then getting back into position. The referee's going to call over
Ryan King that's been pulled out. I think he's just having a word. He's just saying, yeah.
He's going to go to the pocket.
Yellow. It is a yellow. Ryan King, we can only be for the late tackle there. Can Ryan King, he saw yellow right at the back end of the Swinton game a few weeks back, did Ryan King, and he's going to be found, he's leaving his side without 10 minutes, himself for 10 minutes once again, and it is the Raiders are going to have this ball here. It can only be for a late tackle there on Jared Stack.
This is a prime opportunity now then for the Raiders to rack up some points, because their key player, Ryan King, will be off the field for 10 minutes time. Raiders find themselves within 10 metres of that Whitehaven line, going up against 12 defenders, looking for their second try of the afternoon and a chance to bring this game level. Cumbrian derby here on Good Friday. The scoreline, Raiders 6, Whitehaven 12, but it's Barrow on the attack now with Josh Wood trying to loop around the markers, get the ball away. Tackle made a few metres short of that line.
Should have gone down the short side. Haven was short on numbers. And Greg Burke there looking to get that offloaded in the tackle. You could see his arm there, silly when he was completely wrapped up there from Greg Burke, but tried to get that arm free. Whitehaven survive, and they'll have an opportunity to fetch it down the field now, but should have gone to that left hand side. A rare error in a dummy half from Josh Wood, not noticing there where the numbers were.
Yeah, he was looking for that short runner, that short lead before I'm just going to presume he never looked towards that left hand side. He's in the space, gone for Greg Burke. Bit of a brain fart from him. He was trying to look for an offload when he was wrapped up by 3 Whitehaven shirts. He's knocked the ball on, and now Whitehaven with just them 12 players are going to receive the ball back 10 metres in front of their own line.
Yeah, Rio Corkill's going to be the man to get it from the base of the scrum. Guy Graham and DDW, we don't call him Dalton Desmond Walker, otherwise we'll be here all day. DDW replaced Lucas Castle and Ross Ainley respectively. And Graham trying to stay on the wing initially just to see if he can help his side out in attack here, because the Raiders looking well in defence in the early stages of this set, just pinning Whitehaven back a little bit, and it's now Curtis T who just pushes off Tom Wilkinson. Again, tries to get him back inside of Ramon Silva, and done well there initially to Curtis T, and gets the appreciation of the grandstand around us here at the recreation ground. Just about to tick over to half an hour gone. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Guy Graham's going to play this ball here. James Newton skirts from dummy half and has then made 10 metres before finding the Raiders defence, and it's now going to be.
He's not getting up, James.
He's not. He's trying to hold it as long as he can.
Was he play acting there?
Jamie Jordan scoots from dummy half, screaming for the penalty. Was with the Whitehaven players and fans alike, but not giving anything was referee Matt Dillon. And to be fair, that's a great kick from Jamie Doran as he's able to get it behind Ryan Shaw, and Shaw's going to be pinned on his own 10 metre line. A couple of changes here for the Raiders.
As now Raiders start this set off the 10, fresh faces onto the field. A little bit of Super League experience as Tom Forber and Kevin Rothwell come onto the field. Tom Wilkinson and Josh Wood going to go off for a rest now then, so it's all changing this Raiders team. Tom Forber, one time he was the 18th man in the World Club Challenge. Shows you what Wigan think of him as offload out the back from Costello to Bullman, a try score earlier on. Up towards a 40 now, then he's looking for the penalty.
Andrew Bullman, isn't he?
Oh, he's gone face to face with Jake Carter.
In the meantime,
just kicks come through to Ryan Johnston. Ryan Johnston, he's got that ball away to Tom Forber on just his second touch in Raiders colours. Tom Forber, great bit of initiative from the Raiders from their own halfway mark. We were busy looking at Bullman and Carter having a fight, but it was Forber that's going to go down. He's been on the pitch for a matter of seconds, and he's going to level this one up with a conversion attempt to come. The scoreline is now Raiders 10, is Whitehaven 12.
Raiders spotting Nathan Connell had dropped back, maybe a bit too deep there. Had Connell, and they've just put the little grubber in, and the sort of gap that they were able to utilise between the defensive line and the fullback. And it was initially, it must have been Forber that maybe he'd put the kick through. Johnston got it on him. Johnston that just ran forward. He was 1-on-1 there with Nathan Connell, 2-on-1 I should say. Forber on his right hand side. Johnson able to find Forber, and Forber gets in, the former Whitehaven loanee. Yeah. And of course 18th man in the World Club Challenge, only a few weeks back, of course, as the Wigan won it against the Penrith Panthers. Like you say, it shows you what Wigan think of him, putting him in as 18th man in sort of a game of that sort of magnitude. Out with the Raiders to get some game time, probably some much needed game time. You mentioned second touch in Raiders colours. He's diving over on this right hand side for a 4-pointer.
I think when he came onto the field, he started that set. He came in at hooker, he got that play away. Raiders and Bullman got the ball up towards the 40, and then the second play of the set, it's Forber kicking it over the top. Johnson getting onto the kick. Forber collecting his own initial kick with a pass from Johnson and going in for Raiders goal. What a start. What a start to your Raiders, I say career, albeit 2 weeks of it possibly. At a push, they might get a few more weeks out of him. Depends how desperately Wigan want their man back. But I'm still trying to think exactly what happened there between Bullman and Carter. I mean, we do see
just an aggressive runner is Andrew Bullman. He loves it. He loves the contact. Obviously seen it so often when he was in a Whitehaven shirt, obviously in previous seasons, and continue it now. He's in the blue and white of Barrow Raiders, of course. Yeah, and he just wasn't happy with something that had gone on here, maybe against Jake Carter. But it's now, as Shaw adds the extras, Haven 12, Raiders 12, 7 minutes to half time, scores a level.
Yeah, 32 minutes on the clock, and it's a Shaw thing. Ryan Shaw with his second of the afternoon, making it 12 points apiece here. You are listening live on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. It's a Good Friday Cumbrian derby, and it's living up to all the expectations. 12 points apiece, and Whitehaven still down to 12 men.
Certainly are. Ryan King sent to the sin bin for the late tackle, we think it must have been, on Jared Stack. Just a couple of the scores from around the championship. It's Widnes 22, Swinton 10, Doncaster 6, Sheffield 10. They have recorded the whole derby, close your ears. It's Hull KR 34, Hull FC 10. If you're recording the Saints Wigan derby, close your ears. It's 2-0 to the Saints.
Good kick off there, deep once again from Haven. Juggled around by Barrow, but still playing on here. Up towards a 20 now as Ramon Silva. Once again, he's been heavily involved, putting a big shift so far. 33 minutes before going off the field. Going to surprise to see more and more minutes from the former Wigan man, of course, as Barrow now then trying to edge their way towards the 40, right in the middle of the field as Forber runs right at the line. You can tell he's bringing that little bit of Super League experience to the ball. Has fumbled out in the tackle. The referee's going to deem it a knock on.
And Shane Toll has failed his HIA. Shane Toll has failed his HIA. The reserve referee down below us has come out and said, I need your fourth interchange. That is Shane Toll done for the afternoon. It's going to be a continued reshuffle on that left hand side for the Raiders.
So Shane looked absolutely fine as well. Just a bit of a knock to just above his temple, it would seem, and he was a little bit of blood coming out as he was leaving off the field just in front of our position. But now he's trying to speak to his teammates underneath again. He looks absolutely fine, but he's feeling his HIA, so Raiders at least are going to be down to just the 3 interchanges as this game continues.
Will Evans is now looking to fetch his ball, and it's the first penalty of the afternoon to Whitehaven. And to be fair to the Raiders, 35 minutes gone. That's not the worst way to. It's not the worst discipline in the world, obviously following the issues they had at Widnes a few weeks back, but it means that Whitehaven's going to have an opportunity here. Jamie Doran on the Raiders 40 to find touch, and he's found 25 metres, maybe what Ryan Johnson should have done earlier on, but it's 15 metres now. Whitehaven are going to beat to start this set of 6. Will Evans then going to be into the hands of Connor Holliday as the heavens open here at the recreation ground. It's scheduled for around about 4 o'clock. What's he going to bring? Jamie Doran finds Jake Carter. On the crash ball is Owen McCarran. Australians taken down, centre field, 9 metres out. Newton's going to come left into the hands of Jake Carter. Jake Carter with a dummy. It's wrapped up there by Brad Walker, his opposite number. Ramon Silver involved there as well. Newton in a dummy half, going to come right into the hands then of Guy Graham. Scottish internationals just taken down, only metre 2 potentially out. Newton going to go right into the hands of Carter. Then Jamie Doran steps up, just there as Jamie Doran, then runs it across the line. Finds now Will Evans. Will Evans is going to try and get round. You don't get round Jared Stack all that easy, as the Welsh internationals found out, but it is now the 5 and last. 12 metres out here to Whitehaven, only 3 or 4 metres in from the popular side. Jamie Doran kicks charge down, come off the foot then of Connor Holliday. It should be a knock on here, and it is going to be a knock on against the Raiders, and it's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven, and they're going to have a fresh set of 6 from the scrum. 3.5 minutes as we make it here to half time on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, and it's going to be Whitehaven with another opportunity.
Darwin again never loses it, does he? He just held on to that ball as long as he possibly could. He waited, he knew exactly what he was doing. He's seen the charge down come in. He knew they were going to get the ball back because he kicked it far too hard for the Raiders to regain possession, and now Whitehaven have the scrum down 10 metres directly in front of the Raiders posts.
Attacking the Kells end in the first half. Ball's held in the scrum, then collected by Jamie Doran. Jake Carter then comes across on Curtis Tier on this left hand side. Decides to come back inside there as Curtis Tier didn't fancy taking Andrew Bowman on, diving into this left hand side corner. Still early in the tackle counts, of course. Carter then comes across then to Guy Graham. Graham nearly through there. He's the prop forward, taken down 5 metres out, right in the middle of the sticks. Newton's then going to come left to Carter. Carter then, big shot on there from Matty Costello, just marked Jake Carter out and was able to stop that move in motion. Ryan King getting ready to come back onto the field here. Connor Holliday is going to be held up here. He's Holliday. King, Whitehaven going to be back up to a full complement of 13 in just a moment. Newton then going to come across to Carter. Carter's going to put the little kick forward. Is he going to have to be knocked dead? Costello collects it and he's going to be able to. He's not. He's fetched down just short there. Here's Matty Costello. Did really ever so well to nearly get beyond the try line, but being forced back there behind his own line there. It's going to be a goal line drop out to Haven. We make it 2 minutes to go to the half-time hooter.
This Whitehaven kicking game, when they've been in the red zone, kicking it, the box kicking towards the corners, holding Raiders right back in front of their own line. They've been pulling it off fantastically well all afternoon so far.
King back onto the field now. Whitehaven up to a full complement of 13. Dalton Desmond Walker, DDW, is the man to fetch the ball forward, and he's taken down 27 metres out from the Raiders line. Carter across the field then into the hands of Guy Graham. Graham looking for the offload and finds James Newton. Ramon Silver though able to wrap him up straight away.
Size difference in them two. James Newton and Ramon Silver.
Carter then comes across to DDW. Big shot on there from Brad Walker. There's some big shots going in these final couple of minutes of the first half of this Cumbrian derby. King, Jamie Doran, then looking for the kick over to the corner. Jake Mason trying to get there. He's Jake Mason. Sure, come off his hands, gone backwards, and it's going to then be wrapped up there by Will Evans. Just spotted an opportunity there, did Jamie Doran. Jake Mason maybe just a little bit too deep to come off there, but yet again Raiders living dangerously but able to recover as we head into the final minute of this first half.
Yeah, 39 minutes on the clock now, and it's up your jumper stuff from the Raiders, because this Whitehaven defence once again keeping Barrow held back tight as we approach the halfway mark. 12 point apiece. You're listening to BBC Radio Cumbria Sport, and it's Whitehaven that are definitely on the front foot at the moment, numbering up big numbers in defence here. The referee could penalise him here. Desmond Walker, it is that time. Not too happy with something, is he?
I think he said there that I've called held and you've carried on pushing him back. I think obviously the crowd rather getting raucous across here. Ryan Johnson able to fine touch on this occasion, and I think he's just said you've been going far too long there of pushing Andrew Bowman back. I called held, you carried on going, it's a penalty.
So Raiders now them into the final few seconds of this first half. Jared Stack, the captain, with that first run up towards the 40. Quick play the ball from Forber as Barrow now then with Greg Burke. Still good carry that time from the former Salford man up towards the halfway. Now as Forber's waiting for that quick play. Dummies to his right, goes to his left, runs at the line. He found Silver running off his shoulder. Good offload away, but even better defensive effort that time from the Whitehaven shirts as Raiders once again going down the short side. It's just caught out the back there. The play continues. Still bringing it around this line. I think Barrow are waiting for the hooter, so they are throwing this ball around. We've gone past the 40-minute mark. We're just playing into injuries and stoppages now. Then as Barrow find themselves 35 metres out now, pushing up towards Charlie Emsley. He gets Barrow up towards the 20-metre mark. Fifth and last tackle. Will there be one last hurrah before the half-time hooter as Brad Walker kicks that one up high towards that left corner. It's a good chase, and it's an even better catch from the captain. Jared Stack goes over the man who leaps like a salmon year after year after year, and he has done it once again. And right before the hooter, the Raiders are going to go into the sheds ahead here on this Good Friday Cumbrian derby. The scoreline now is Barrow 16, it's Whitehaven 12.
We must have missed something. Gareth Hewer tells me there's 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left?
We must have missed something.
I don't know.
We must have done. But fantastic try from the Barrow Raiders. So that's the 38th minute. I tell you what, I'm going to have to redo all my timings here. We're all to pot. But yeah, no, we had it. You know, we were beyond 40, but it must have been a stoppage where we hadn't stopped the clock. But there hadn't been that many stoppages. But fantastic work from the Raiders. That crossfield kick, Brad Walker just hung up enough. And Jared Stack, he was like Shane Toll on that left hand side. He just leapt, like as you mentioned, like a salmon, and out jumped Jake Mason. Mason won't be happy with that. Whitehaven won't be happy with that. And then going forward to what is the final 90 seconds, will be 60 seconds by the time this game gets back underway, of the Raiders retaking the lead.
He does a lot of things well, does Jared Stack. He has done year after year. One of the highlighting things that he can do is jump probably over 10 foot high in the air. I remember a couple of years ago when the Raiders finished fourth there, it became a tactic of theirs because a lot of teams marked up on Hakeem Maludi and T. Ritson, leaving a bit of space on the other side for Jared Stack, and nobody would ever out jump him. And he's brought that little bit of form back once again, and as we've seen there, he's caught that one extremely well in the air, clearly straight from the training ground as Walker's put that one up as high as he could, giving Stack time to get into position and take that ball. As now Ryan Shaw once again goes for the kick. He's going to go right through the middle, and as you heard, it's a sure thing. It's now approaching half time, and it's Whitehaven 12, it's Barrow 18.
Yeah, 12-18 to the Barrow Raiders. Full time elsewhere in the championship. Widnes 28, Swinton Lions 10. That was a 2 o'clock kickoff, and the only other game in championship currently from FM and across all frequencies. Quite a rushed one because we're waiting to speak to yourselves, and Barrow started to re-emerge, so we're about to get back underway in the second half here at the recreation ground. Jake Carter with the kick-off, and it's going to be the Raiders to collect through Brad Walker.
Brad Walker takes that one well on the back foot, manages to get an offload from sat on his backside away to Greg Burke. Greg Burke has taken the Raiders past that 10 metre mark, so a big set needed right at the start of this first half. A game which the Raiders lead after scoring just a minute or so before the half-time hooter. 18 points to 12 it is in favour of the visitors this afternoon. Barrow Raiders, who haven't lost here for a while now then. And it's almost, I think when Barrow play away from Craven Park that much, I think this has become like their new home ground at the moment, Jordan.
The West of Cumbria certainly has. They played the majority of games up here in the last throughout the season so far.
And now the Raiders now then with Ramon Silva. He's trying to find some space in that defence. He's got the ball away to Ryan Johnson. He can't find any space either, so good defensive set that time from Haven, keeping Barrow back just inside their own half. As the ball comes back to Walker, being charged down once again. He's done well to get that away. It's gone round the back of Nathan Connell. Oh, and he slipped. He got away with that when he was facing away from the play. It could have been a knock on there.
Could have been. We've seen one from the first half where it just sort of seemed to misjudge the bounce initially, did Nathan Connell. Got away with one there. Referee Matty Lane says it went backwards, and second tackle now. Tia plays the ball. Then into the hands of Rio Corkill, and he's going to be taken down. Of course, Nigerian internationals, a few internationals out there, and obviously sort of these more obscure rugby league countries. It's the Australian on this occasion, Owen McCadden's the one to fetch the ball forward. It's gone across to Jake Carter. Carter going to be looking for the 40-20 if he can get the right angle on it. It's just not going to bounce kindly enough there for Carter. Firm field, that might have gone, but got the ball over Cresswell, just not the angle, and it means that Carter's been able to wrap up Luke Cresswell there, 12 metres away from his own line.
If you're going to miss the 40-20 attempt, it's not a bad place to concede possession 10 metres away from the Raiders line. But now Whitehaven penalised as if a holding down in the tackle against Carter, it would seem, who's chased down his own kick. So good kick downfield that time from the Raiders means that play is going to restart on the halfway mark. Just 2 minutes into this second half now, and it's Barrow already find themselves 40 away from that Whitehaven line, looking to extend the lead here, already winning by that 6-point margin. It's 3 tries to 2, all of them being converted as Ramon Silva was lined up there by Ryan King, couldn't complete the tackle. Silva kept creeping forward. Barrow still though find themselves 35 metres away. Strong running that time from Rothwell, the man in for potentially a season-long loan from the Lee Leopards. Once again, Ramon Silva. He has been everywhere this afternoon. He's dragged to the floor, 10 metres out now. Quick play the ball. Fantastic opportunity for the Raiders to get through here with Forber. He's done non-stop attacking that defensive line ever since he's come onto the field. Great stuff from the Wigan man. As Barrow now then on the last with Cresswell. Cresswell delayed the pass. He's got the ball out to Ryan Shaw. And if he's not kicking conversions, he's now scoring try. It's a sure thing once again for Ryan. It's his first of the season. Barrow extend the lead now. The scoreline here at the Rec, it's Whitehaven 12, Barrow 22.
Power read there from Jake Mason, give the Raiders an opportunity, jumped out the line on this edge, did the Italian international and just give that opportunity for the pass just to be delayed, and then it was with Brad Walker, I think, with ball in hand and just able to get the ball across to Ryan Shaw on this left hand side corner. If Mason stayed where he is, that play doesn't happen. Poor read from the Italian international, and it means that Raiders have gone in for their 4th of the afternoon. Ryan Shaw with his, as Dan mentioned, his first 4-pointer of the season, and it's going to be an opportunity here for him to go 4 from 4 with the boot.
And when that ball initially came to Cresswell, it was there. I think he had 3, possibly 4 white shirts lining him up from all different kind of angles. He struggled to get the pass away initially, but nobody moved forward just to complete it. They were waiting for the pass. They waited all too long. Good initiative from Cresswell to find Shaw on that space on that left hand side. Wasn't a lot of space, but it was just enough space for Ryan to go in for his first of the season. Now he's going to look to convert his own try from this very, very far touchline. This will be his most difficult attempt yet of this Cumbrian derby. But never mind that. Barrow now 10-point margin from as the scores go in previous years. Whitehaven are definitely going to score next.
Biggest game of the biggest margin of the game so far, and it'll be extended even further if Ryan Shaw knocks this over. Really most difficult. It is literally a blade of grass from the touchline. from Ryan Shaw, but he's got a fantastic left foot on him. Very rarely misses, even from this far out.
He's going to scoot just towards the right hand edge of the post, so he's not going to convert his own kick. And I have just been informed by the Raiders fans over in that far left hand side in the Kells end, they believe that pass was forward. It's hard to see from our angle, but they're the ones that were stood closer to it, Jordan. They believe that pass was forward, so it could be a controversial try possibly for the Raiders.
Oh, it's in the paper tomorrow, isn't it? It's all that matters now. It's on the score sheet and it's in the paper tomorrow. Carter with the kick-off, collected on the full by Brad Walker again, finds Andrew Bowman.
Bowman just darting through there, picking up the pace quickly. And there was a few concerns about Bowman after he came back from his last injury last season. He took a few months to get his confidence back. He wasn't running anything like that he was then, but he's straight in. He's not too fussed about the contact this time. Let's hope he can find some early season form following on from that try 4 minutes into his 2024 championship season. As Ramon Silva now then still on the field, almost 50 minutes played for the Raiders forward. And I tell you what, the difference makers since they've come onto this field have definitely been 1, Tom Forber, and 2, Kevin Rothwell. As Raiders now then looking to get that ball away down this left hand side, but the referee just stopped play that time.
Jared Stack running the Whitehaven defensive line, obstructed the tackle, and it means that a penalty's gone here to Whitehaven. James Newton's got to be the man to leave in the field to be replaced by Lachlan Hannigan, and it's going to be George Hill coming on the field to replace DDW Dalton Desmond Walker, making his second debut on loan from the Castleford Tigers. So it means now Whitehaven have found touch. Will Evans is going to be the man to take the tap, and I tell you what, it's a fantastic kick there from Whitehaven. It means Will Evans has started this 12 metres out, and he's taken down 7 metres out here, attacking the Raiders line. Hannigan then gets it across then to George Hill, put down onto his back just to the right hand side of the post, attacking the railway end in the second half are Whitehaven. Hannigan 6 again called, going to then across to Ryan King. King's going to be taken down, but Whitehaven have a fresh set of 6 just to the left hand side of the post. Jamie Jordan then comes out the back to Carter. Carter throws a dummy, didn't really have too much in support there. Connell was there but not quite within easy reach. It's taken down there. He's the Haven halfback. Jordan in, so it's going to be Hannigan and Carter in at halves now. Jamie Jordan's got in and going to be doing a job at 9, as we have seen in previous weeks. George Hill's the man going to be taken down now, just to the left of the posts. Whitehaven within 2 or 3 metres. King going to look to put a little kick through, going to be knocked on. No, he come off the legs initially there, Ramon Silva, and I think a couple of Whitehaven fans, maybe even a player or two, thought Ramon Silva had knocked that. Don't think that was the right option there from Ryan King. There's definitely a few more tackles left in that set, but it means the Raiders are etching the ball away from their own line.
Yeah, Matty Costello scooting the ball up that time and taking Barrow just shy of their own 20. But I do want to go back to what I was saying just before Whitehaven took possession there, and the influence of Tom Forber since he's come onto the field. Paul Carreri said to me in pre-season, one thing they were working on with Josh Wood this year, as good as his defence is he wants him to attack that defensive line more and more. Just be quicker, just run at them and cause problems. Tom Forber's come on and give us a prime example of how that is done. It's an early kick in the set from Ryan Johnston. It's going to be all the way back towards a Whitehaven 10 and collected well by Nathan Connell, but the kick chase is fantastic, and now Whitehaven have got to start off their own 10.
It's their own 20, but then the Raiders are pinned for offside, so a couple of penalties early going in this set. They'd only conceded 1 in the first half had the Raiders, and it wasn't until the 33rd minute or so until that was given. Conceded 2 in the opening, sort of 8 minutes here of the second half. It's going to be Lachlan Hannigan to find touch. Not as much depth on that occasion, but it is going to be exactly on halfway. Jake Mason's going to collect it. Ball inside then to Will Evans, who takes the tap and gets it along to Connor Holliday. Holliday is going to be the man that's taken down just short of the Raiders 40. Jamie Doran then gets it across to George Hill, who does seem to be out there as sort of a 13, so I don't know where Ryan King's playing. Could be a prop. Played just about everywhere else in a Whitehaven shirt. It comes now to King, then comes across to Jake Carter, comes across then to Rio Corkill. Corkill jumped to collect that, trying to get away from Brad Walker, and is it Costello on that side as well, but it's going to be wrapped up just short of the Raiders 20, sort of 3 or 4 metres in from the popular side touchline. Carter now going to run it across the line and upfield to Ryan King. King could be in a loose forward, we could be seeing George Hill in a prop here, and battling well above his weight, as he often does when we've seen him in a Whitehaven shirt last season. Jamie Doran goes left, shapes a dummy. Carter with a kick to the corner. Can Curtis Tier get there? Can Curtis Tier get there? Can Curtis Tier get there? He's going to be called offside. He said he was in front of the kick. Was referee Matty Lane? Don't know, and we'll never know if he got the ball down, because referee had already pulled up and called Curtis Tier offside at that kick. Whitehaven close once again, however.
Great work from Carter. He just seen that space. He just side-footed the ball through towards that left-hand corner. Tier, as acrobatic as he likes, tried to keep that one in, but he was offside, so it means absolutely nothing. We thought that was a Whitehaven try that was coming. We've said 10 points of difference. It's too big of a margin for a Cumbrian derby, so we're still expecting this Whitehaven try to come. They are still matching Barrow toe for toe in defence, at least. This time going head on with Greg Burke, who's trying to shrug his way out of that one just to get to play the ball away. Ramon Silva now then, been on the field for every single minute as the Raiders forward. And with the interchanges now down to 3 due to a failed HIA from Shane Toll, I imagine. And now it's going to be Ramon against Ryan King, shrugging each other away. And King, I think he took a step back there once he realised exactly who he shrugged.
This is Ramon Silva that does MMA?
It sure is, yeah. The black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu man. I
wouldn't be standing toe to toe with him either. In fact, if he's in CA 28, I'm in LA 14. I'm telling you, I am going that far away. As the clock is stopped, exactly in going on to the 53rd minute, but 52nd as it's about to be. Interesting to see what the touch judges say here, because Silva was getting up, didn't like the attention he was getting from Guy Green, juggled the ball, didn't spill it, wasn't going to call for him a knock on, and he's calling Stack out first. He could just be calling the captains out here, because it's Jamie Doran as James Newton's going to be leaving the left of field to be an interchange. I think he's just going to have a word here. He's referee Matty Lane, and we might not see a penalty or anything else.
I must admit, I've been quite impressed with the officials this afternoon. This is the second time now that firstly Matty Lane has gone over and he's spoken to his touch judges, then he's spoken to the captains. He's doing it again in this second half, and this is how a game should be officiated. Not only do you speak to the captains to calm things down, it slows the play down a little bit as well. So any bad tempers that are going on, like Barrow fans would have seen against Widnes a few weeks ago, they can just settle a little bit and play can continue from the halfway. Barrow going to keep possession. It's just going to be as you were. Referee's just telling Ramon to get over another metre or so. Now play continues then. Barrow back on the attack, run it down with Kevin Rothwell, the man on loan from the Lee Leopards. Almost 10 metres made in that carry that time. It's a no-look pass out towards the right-hand side from Forber, who's really impressed me since he's come onto the field. It's going to be a shame to see him go off, actually, because I imagine that Josh Wood was going to probably play the last 15 to 20 minutes of this game. Last tackle now then, Raiders within 25 of that Haven line. Get that ball out to Walker, he's digging that one over the top, but the referee's blown his whistle.
Brad Walker would be wishing, I wish he'd blew earlier. I was already the heat when once the ball had sort of gone. It was just as the ball had gone, sort of pressure to put on there, and it just fell down, did Brad Walker, but it was all for vain as the Raiders man had played the ball incorrectly. So it's going to be Connor Holliday to play this ball here, 23 metres away from his own line, and now being fetched forward by Will Evans, former Queensland captain, having it under 16s and under 18s, is the Welsh international. And now Jake Mason is going to be the man to fetch this ball forward now. Just ticking over into the 53rd minute here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online. Doncaster 18, Sheffield 14. Turn around there over at Doncaster, what was previously the Keep Moat. Tom Walker getting ready to come back onto the field for the Raiders down below us. But Jamie Doran in at dummy half, going to come across to King. King looks to try and get away from Tom Forber. Initially tried to go one-on-one there and did think King, but Forber stood up well. He's going to be taken down 32 metres away from his own line. Hobbling away from that is King. Going to be put in from Hannigan. Mason's on the chase. Connell's on the chase. Creswell's going to have to deal with it.
What a kick.
Fantastic work. Fantastic kick. And another goal line drop out forced. Seeing one from Whitehaven in the first half. They've been able to force another on this occasion.
Yeah, Cresswell waited. He waited a little bit more, waiting for that ball to just bobble out to play. But we said this pitch is soft. It's going to act a little bit differently to what the players are used to. He's done well to take the ball, but Whitehaven did even better to make the tackle.
That goes out to play in July.
It does.
It does, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of them. Attempting to go short. He's been able to collect that.
Really?
I'm not too sure. I agree with Matty Lynn that Curtis T was able to keep a hold of that, but it goes in favour of Whitehaven. It means now they are only 7 metres out. See, in the NRL, they attempt to go short all the time and attempt to regather. Not able to on this occasion with the Raiders, and it's now Nathan Connell. That's going to be a penalty. No, it's not. Gives himself up as Nathan Connell to Haven, able to keep hold of the ball. Guy Graham was the man that got involved initially. Doran shapes right, goes left. Probably should have got the ball across to Guy Graham there, but wrapped up is Jamie Doran in at 9 now, rather than his start position at half-back. Ryan King, has he got over as Ryan King? Of course he's got over as Ryan King. Got the first try of the season for Whitehaven in the Championship last time out, and gets his second try of the season as the Italian international. You can see why so many clubs have wanted him. Of course, did go to Halifax for the start of the 2023 season, but returned here to the recreation ground. He's got a fantastic try scoring record as a forward, whether that be a sort of loose forward or his traditional position at second row. But just as we tick over to the 55th minute, it's reduced the deficit to 6 points. It's Haven 16, Raiders 22.
We said it was coming. We said the next try was going to come from a Whitehaven man, and who else but Ryan King. Always appears week in, week out for this team, and he may have seen the first half sin bin, but he's definitely made up for that in the second half, and he's put his team and his teammates within a try of this Cumbrian derby once more. It's going to be a relatively simple conversion attempt for Jake Carter, and in just a minute or so's time you'd expect the scoreline to be 18-22 and back to within just 4 points. My prediction was 21-16, so I'm not too far away if it stays like this. Successful conversion from Carter then means a scoreline here at BBC Radio Cumbria on Derby Day. It's Whitehaven 18, it's Barrow 22.
Just about to tick over into the 56th minute, around about 24 minutes to go here at the recreation ground, and Roman Silva's first stint is done. 56 minutes, what a stint that has been from the Brazilian. But he's been replaced out there by Tom Walker. You imagine it only be a somewhat small break for Ramon Silva, because you imagine Paul Crady will definitely want him back out there in the closing stages here at the recreation ground. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online, BBC Sport app and BBC Sport website. Jake Carter sort of fell in the mud and able to collect the ball essentially on his backside. Guy Graham gets the offload away to Nathan Connell, who then finds now try score to King. King's going to be the man to be taken down. Who is it that's down in back play? It is Guy Graham there, just slow up there, and the Whitehaven physio is going to go and see to him. In the meantime, Connor Holliday is going to be the man to fetch his ball forward, wrapped up there by Jared Stack. Still out in the centres is Stack, following that loss of Shane Toll in the early stages. Jake Mason's going to be wrapped up and taken down, sort of 25 metres out away from his own line in centre field. Jake Carter going to be looking for the kick. That's going to come, and it wasn't. I don't know if it come off a Raiders man or not, but it's going to be Shaw that collects in beyond his own 40, running more lateral than forward. There is Shaw, but he's taken down 10 short of halfway.
It wouldn't surprise me if play gets stopped shortly, because Raiders attacking down that right hand side, and Whitehaven have got a man down in back place, so big boys back up to his feet now then. So Raiders inside that Whitehaven half of Charlie Emsley takes Raiders to within 35 metres of that Whitehaven line. Just 4 points separate these two Cumbrian juggernauts. Whitehaven 18, Barrow Raiders 22, all to play for. Barrow still looking for their first championship points of the season on round 2. Can they come here? And have found some space here, almost intercepted by Mason, looking for that long ball over the top to Ryan Shaw.
It's going to be a penalty to Whitehaven anyways. It's a penalty to Whitehaven. Johnson thinks it's a penalty to them, and is saying, should I take the 2? The answer probably would have been yes, Ryan, but it's not your penalty. It's a Whitehaven penalty, and it's going to be for going around the back there, so an obstruction. And Whitehaven, although couldn't find the guy. Oh my giddy aunt, nicking the line from you, and that's because no one is back. Nicking the line from you a couple of years ago, Dan, not in use in the same way, of course, but Lachlan Hannigan's found 55 metres.
Yeah, nearly 60 metres on that kick.
Yeah, and it was going to be that it was going to be that 10 of them's been after the ball had bounced. If the Raiders had reacted quickly enough, they could have stopped that and had this ball back. But it's now that Hannigan's got ball in hand. Gets the offload away to George Hill. He's taken down exactly 20 metres out. Middle of the field, goes left to Carter, then comes across to Guy Graham, showing no ill effects that made him stay down a couple of minutes ago. Doran in a dummy half, comes across to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan then gets it across to Connor Holliday. He's got a good try scoring record as well for the forward as Connor Holliday. Not as proficient last season was the second rower, but he's going to play this ball now. Doran then comes across then to George Hill. Hill's going to look to step back inside, just to the right hand side of the post now. It is the 5 and last, 3-4 metres out. Dorian in at dummy half, going to come down this right hand side. Hannigan then gets the ball to Jake Mason in this right hand side corner. Fantastic ball from Hannigan, fantastic try from Whitehaven. The scores are level with Jake Mason's 3rd try of the season in only his 4th competitive Whitehaven appearance. Scores are level, it's Haven 22, it's Raiders 22. We're just short of the hour. Which way is this derby day going, Dan Payne?
Oh, we will never know. We'll never know. We're going to come down drop goal territory again. We're going into
not again. Not again.
We approach the final 20 minutes of the match here. It's 22 points apiece. Jake Carter has got a conversion attempt to come. Will he give his new team the lead against his former Barrow Raiders team? He's going to be almost as far on that touchline as Ryan Shaw was just a few minutes ago. But back-to-back tries, 2 tries in the last 5 minutes for Whitehaven has turned this game on its head. We said Whitehaven were going to go in next. I didn't think they were going to get 2 that quickly. And you just wonder as well, it's Ramon Silva that's come off the field, and now the tries are being leaked. It just shows how big of a player he is in this Barrow team.
Ryan Shaw went 3 from 3, missed his 4th. Jake Carter's gone 3 from 3. Will he miss his 4th? It's a touchline conversion once again. They're both left-footed. This one probably suits Carter a little bit better. It's on the right side of the field for him compared to Shaw's that wasn't. But this is a difficult kick for the Haven halfback.
Heart in mouth stuff then. What an opportunity for Carter.
Comes at it left-footed.
Wide.
Just to the near post there. Scores are level as we hit the hour mark. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. How's your heart at home? How's your heart, Dan Payne? It's Whitehaven 22, Barrow Raiders 22.
Every time I come here, this always happens. You know what? This game will be the end of me. It really will. One day I'll be stood here doing this game and I won't see full time. It's tense once again. It's 22 points apiece. We've got less than 20 minutes on the clock. Ryan Shaw now then, taking all the time in the world to kick this one off. Pinpoint accuracy from Ryan needed here, and it's gone up high, testing the Whitehaven defence. Collective well, they're going to start off their own 10.
Guy Graham's the man to fetch the ball forward. Jake Carter collected from the kick-off, able to do it standing up this time rather than on his backside as he did last time, as Owen McCarran's going to be the man that's taken down. Calls for a high shot there as McCarran was falling to the floor. Referee not interested. King is going to be the man to fetch his ball forward. The only spell he's had off so far is that obviously Simbin. I imagine Jonty Gall is not going to fetch him off now, so he might be doing a big stint as well there. Well, Ryan King, as George Hill's going to be the man to play this ball here, just over the Haven 40. Comes across then to Guy Graham. Graham's going to continue nearly through the line. There was the Scottish international, and it's the 5 and last, just over halfway, exactly in centre field. Dornan's going to scoot from dummy half before then putting the kick in, finding the space. Bit of terra firma between Cresswell and Bowman. Cresswell collects. It's a good chase from Whitehaven, and they're going to pin the Raiders full-back beyond, just before his own 10 metre line.
He's been faultless all afternoon, Cresswell. He needs to make sure he remains faultless going into the final 15 minutes of this Cumbrian derby, as Josh Wood looks to come back onto the field now then. As good as Tom Forber has been, you imagine it's going to be a like-for-like swap here. That's the Wigan loanee. He's put in a fantastic shift since coming on, with a try to boot as well, as James Greenwood now then takes a big tackle. It is going to be a straight swap. Josh Wood back on for Forber. At least Josh Wood will definitely beef up this defence, as Ramon Silva currently spends a few minutes in the bench getting a good bit of rest on the last tackle now then. Raiders just shy of the halfway. Good kick chase on Walker. He's got that one down towards the corner, but now we've got Tom Walker on his knees here in back play with no Silver on the pitch. Tom Walker down on his knees. This is a big loss in the middle for Barrow right now.
It's a big ward of attrition here as Whitehaven are now fetching the ball forward with Curtis Tier. It's taken down 15 short of halfway, 10 metres in from the popular side, and we are going to have a stoppage here as Tom Walker is down on his haunches in back play. And now just being told there, the Whitehaven backroom staff are just saying he's got to come off now, sir, which the new laws in the game, if you cause a stoppage, you've got to come off. Potentially, I think the green card maybe. That seems to get an occasional out every now and again, and I think we're just going to wait and see what's going on here. But Tom Walker was down on his haunches. Whitehaven, when this game does get back underway, we're going to start from exactly 35 metres out, found about 10 metres in from the popular side touchline, and with under 17 minutes to go down, it's scores level.
It's a tense one. Ramon Silva as well. He's barely been off the pitch just 10 minutes, and he looks like he might have to go back on here if the rules are adhered to, and Tom Walker does have to come off the field.
I just think he's going to be off for like a couple of minutes. I don't think it's going to be an interchange. Ross Ainley's getting ready to come back on for Whitehaven down below us, and we're just going to see here. He's still needing some treatment. His Tom Walker seems to be his nose. He's maybe just caught a bang on his nose, and there's going to be some maybe some claret coming from that. In the words of Steve, of course, and in the meantime, Whitehaven have took the opportunity to take Guy Graham, replace him with Ross Ainley, going into the final 17 minutes here. Be a big, I tell you what, that's a big responsibility for Ross Ainley. Only his second season in the professional game, and coming out to say, I want you to go and potentially finish this game for me.
He's put in a big shift as well, hasn't he, Guy Graham? He's done well for Haven this afternoon, especially in defence.
So Rio Corkill's the man to take it from the play of the ball. He's going to look to try and fetch his ball forward as fast as he can, but it's been stopped there just short of his own 40. Doran in at dummy half, on comes to Ross Ainley, and going to be caught high there. Oh, referee! There we go. I think he's eventually got the call from maybe his touch or just something. And Tom Walker did catch. Only just. It was just round it was just round here. It was only just, but has caught him, and it means it was Tom Walker, of course, against his former side. Obviously left the recreation ground in not the most acrimonious of circumstances to Tom Walker midway through last season, and as he's on his return, he's given the penalty away there. So it's going to be Whitehaven here with an opportunity to try and regain the lead. Ross Ainley is going to be the man to fetch it forward. He's taken down, only a metre or two short of the Raiders 20. Jamie Doran in at dummy half, going to run it across the line. It's Ryan King once again trying to get away from Charlie Emsley, but then taking it down there. Who's involved? It's Tom Walker and Brad Walker. Raiders had 3 in at marker. Jamie Doran looking to try and take advantage, looking to get that arm free for an offload, but it's taken down. Is the Whitehaven man within 10 metres now of Whitehaven. Hannigan then going to fetch it across the line, then going to come across to Connor Holliday. Holliday looks to spin out of that, but not able to, and he's taken down just to the right hand side of the post, 5 metres out. Hill's going to go back in towards Ross Ainley. Ainley with the offload to Ryan King. You can see what that Whitehaven fan thinks behind us, says go on Kingy, but it is now the 5 and last. Too early for a drop goal, surely. Whitehaven probably too close as well.
Never too early.
Jamie Doran going to go left to Jake Carter, comes across then to Owen McCarran. Get his arm free. He can't, he's fetched down just short. He's only a metre short. He's the Australian, but it's a metre enough, and it's going to be a turnover ball here for the Raiders, but they're going to have to come 99 metres if they want anything from this set, Dan Payne.
Massive set needed here from Barrow. If they're going to get anywhere downfield, they just need to go through the motions, do it well, keep the discipline. Nate shoots a good end of set kick, potentially force an error or a penalty from Whitehaven, as they are now just creeping the way downfield. It's getting a little bit slower than it was a few sets ago, as the big heavy legs are creeping in now then, as we're approaching the final, getting towards the final 10 minutes of this Cumbrian derby, and it's still Whitehaven 22, it's Barrow 22, and you know it's going to head towards drop goal territory. I'm surprised Whitehaven didn't go for the drop goal in that moment, to be honest.
Too close. I just feel the Raiders probably had an opportunity to block it far easier. Maybe felt it was probably easy to try and get the ball across for a 4-pointer. Brad Walker with ball in hand, nearly caught with it there.
They've got some space. They've got some space down on this left-hand side with Greenwood. Greenwood shrugs off 1, 2, 3 challenges. He couldn't quite get the offload away. Cresswell was waiting on the last tackle now then. They've done well to move inside the Whitehaven half. Ryan Johnson attacking the line. He's threw that ball straight into the face of Jared Stack. He's bounced off the face of Stack. I don't think Stack was expecting a pass there. I think he was waiting more for a kick. But nevertheless, Whitehaven regained possession on their own 30.
He wasn't expecting it. He didn't want it. Did Jared Stack? Like you say, as Dan Payne mentioned, he was expecting the kick and was looking to get the chase on that. Probably the first mistake that Ryan Johnson has made all afternoon, as James Newton's getting ready to be reintroduced here for Whitehaven. It's going to be Jamie Doran to leave the field. So Newton going to go back in at 9. As Mason plays the ball 6 again. Fresh set of 6 for Whitehaven. Curtis here is the man to be taken down, and they're in the Raiders half. Playing this 40 metres out. McCarran now, that will be second tackle. Newton now in a dummy half, looking to scoot, not quite able to get away from Rothwell. Holding his head there is James Newton, but able to get up and play the ball following that tackle from Rothwell and Walker, as Ramon Silva's getting ready to come back on down below us for the Raiders. Connor Holliday's the man now looking forward, and it's Whitehaven that seem to be in the ascendancy at the moment. Connell in at dummy half, going to come across to Hannigan, then King. King's just going to run it forward, comes out to one tackle, gets out to two. You're in drop goal territory now. Do you take it? Carter's dropped back. No, Whitehaven is expecting to go for the forward instead. Hannigan then comes across to Will Evans. Will Evans gets off one. Tried to get the ball back inside. It's got to be gone back. Yeah, has gone back. No, had gone back there. It's scared him stuff here at the recreation ground. We make it just over 12 minutes to go. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. It's 22 points apiece.
Whitehaven desperate to keep the ball alive there, and it was Greenwood that stuck his hand out for that bobbling ball. It's just in his favour, gone backwards. It could have been deemed a knock on 3 metres away from the line. Could you imagine as Greenwood makes up for that? And he's now, he hasn't played the ball correctly. The referee has said play on. No, it's just bobbled off the Whitehaven head. He was laying down as Cresswell now then takes Barrow towards the halfway. It is last tackle though. Ryan Johnson's got to kick this one. He has done. It's gone towards the left corner. It's not weighted it too well. The chase is okay though. Jared Stack completing the tackle, and now Whitehaven off their own 20. We'll have to get downfield, and surely now, Jordan, we're looking at drop goal territory.
Getting into the final 11 minutes here at the recreation ground. Yeah, I thought Whitehaven had an opportunity there, but elected not to take it. Like I say, still 11 minutes to go. There's a long time left in rugby league when you've got 11 minutes as Rio Corkill's the man to be unceremoniously dumped. Plays his ball 35 out from his own line, teeing out to fetch the ball forward, takes Whitehaven over their own 40, 8 short of halfway. And it's going to be Ross Ainley. Good work there from Ross Ainley, gets Whitehaven over halfway, but it is the 5 and last centre field. Newton in there at dummy half, going to go left into the hands of Carter. Carter's going to put it high. Cresswell, it's got to readjudge once again there as Luke Cresswell. It's bounced.
It's come off his boot.
And it has come off his boot. He's got to collect it there. Can Whitehaven pin him behind his own goal line area? He can't. He's done well to recover there. That's a voluntary tackle to me, but Whitehaven jumping on it anyways. He just dived towards the floor there, did Luke Cresswell. It's very rare in any circumstances. Is he a voluntary tackle given these days, Dan?
Raiders down, and to show you the sort of efforts they're having to put in attack and defence, they've got Silva back on the field, Walker back on, Rothwell as well. He's remained on the field, but they are taking all the time in the world to get back in the line here. Need to get back and quickly help out the teammates. Forward pass there, then a high tackle on Greenwood. The referee's going to give the high tackle against Whitehaven. It was a forward pass as well. It was passed just in front of our position. We are now into the final 10 minutes here, and it's Barrow with that penalty. Ryan Shaw's going to look towards touch. He's going to kick it straight towards our position here, just off the halfway line. And now for the first time in what feels like at least 10 minutes, Barrow finally get a good opportunity to take the lead once more.
Under 10 minutes to go as we make it here at the recreation ground. Stack takes that tap, and he's met there by a combination of Hannigan, Holiday was in there, and Will Evans.
No nonsense stuff from the Raiders captain then, as Barrow now sweep that ball over towards that right hand side. Tom Walker, good running that time. He's brought down 20 to go for Barrow. 22 points apiece here. Less than 10 minutes to play in the Cumbrian derby. You're listening to BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. And now Barrow find themselves in a fantastic drop goal opportunity. Great positioning, going to go for the try instead. Greenwood managed to get a great offload away in the tackle. Ryan Johnson keeps alive here. He's dug in left, he's looking towards his right. He's eventually tackled right in front of the post, 10 metres out. Raiders have still got tackles remaining as Walker points towards his right hand side. Going towards the left, and it's a sloppy ball towards Ramon Silva. He's just heading straight towards the sticks. I'm trying to see here Brad Walker. He's set himself back on the last tackle. Will Brad Walker receive this ball? Brad Walker receives the ball. Brad Walker with the attempt, and it's gone underneath the bar. It's not a good attempt from Brad Walker. The pressure on him prevented that one. High mouth stuff that time, Jordan Weir.
Certainly was. Walker was wanting it to tackle earlier, and the Raiders had gone the other side instead. That was said. It was a scruffy pass to Silva. He wanted it to tackle earlier. Did Brad Walker, didn't get it, and then when Whitehaven were eventually able to set, he wasn't able to get the tackle, the drop goal attempt to go away cleanly was Brad Walker. But Whitehaven now fetching this ball forward. Jake Mason is the man in attack, coming off the wing to take this ball down the middle just to try and help his forwards out. We make it just over 8 minutes to go here at the recreation ground. Jake Carter, ball inside from inside to Rio Corkill, coming in off that centre berth to try and help his side out, taking down just short of halfway. Tom Wilkinson getting ready to come on for the Raiders, which will be their last interchange. He's got number 8 in hand there as Tom Wilkinson. It's Ainley that's taken down. Newton in at dummy half, just over the halfway line. It's going to be now into the hands of George Hill. That is the 5 and last, 38 out. You feel it's going to be too far for the drop goal. It's going to be Lachlan Hannigan. Lachlan Hannigan on the 5 and last. Eventually gets that kick in. Is it going to be collected on the full there by Matty Costello? Costello's nearly going to be nearly down that right hand side. He's away there, is Costello.
He was almost through there, the former Salford man, and now Barrow have got a fresh set just shy of the halfway line. It wasn't the greatest of kicks that came through initially from Hannigan for Whitehaven. Costello had plenty of work to do still, and he did some good work as now Charlie Emsley takes the Raiders inside the Whitehaven half as we now go into the final 7 minutes of this game, and it has come down to drop goal territory. Were they just going to go for the corners? Are they going to look for the winning try rather than that winning 1 pointer? We will soon see. Aggressive tackle on Greenwood that time. No, he's put his forehand and his head into the chest and the face there of Hannigan. Not seen by the officials. That was rough and tumble, but they've gone on with it nevertheless. They've still got tackles remaining. Barrow then 30 out now then, going down this left hand side of Ryan Johnston, over the top to Ryan Shaw. Shaw's kicked that one over the top. Is there going to be anybody chasing it? No, it's going to be caught well in the air from Connell, just in front of his own line, and now the referee once again has blown his whistle and indicated the Raiders all offside from that kick.
Yeah, Shaw put the kick in. Ryan Johnston was in front, and he was then within the 10 when Connell collected the kick. The rain starts as 6 minutes to go. As the rain starts once again. Guy Graham's out there once again, only a short change spells for Ross Ainley, and then Jamie Dorden is coming, getting ready to come back onto the field there as well. So Whitehaven want the experienced campaigners out there. Who is it that's going to, Jamie Dorden's going to replace? It's going to be Will Evans to take the tap, 10 short of halfway. And it's going to be Ryan King. I'm surprised about that. I'll be completely honest. But Jonty Gawley's the man making decisions.
Drop goal, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, Jamie Dorden. Do you know what? I was having a look earlier on. Jamie Dorden's kicked 5 drop goals in his career. So he could be out there for that potential drop goal.
He'll be looking for number 6 this afternoon.
He certainly will be. It's one of them stats. It just jumped out at me earlier on. You think I might need that this afternoon, but then comes across then too was Guy Graham. Huge! And I mean huge shot combination as it of Rothwell and Josh Wood. And then going to come across to George Hill. Hill's going to be the man to try and get this ball forward as far as he can. 5 and last. Whitehaven are what? 28 here. Carter's the man drop back.
Duran's dropped back as well.
Jamie Dorden. Sorry, Jake Carter. Jake Carter with the drop goal. Jake Carter with the drop goal.
Wow.
Left-footed Jake Carter. There's 5 minutes to go. It finished last season. Haven 22, Raiders 23. With 5 to go, it's Haven 23, Raiders 22. There's a long way to go yet. There's 5 minutes to go. But BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online, Haven back in front once again.
We spoke midweek, Jordan. We spoke about potential finishes to this game, and the words that came out of my mouth was, can you imagine
if Jake Carter gets the drop goal?
There we go, and it's just happened.
Wow.
Minutes from
There's
the end of
5
the
minutes to go, but oh my God. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. It couldn't get any tighter. It's now just a little bit less tight.
Shot for the short one. Gone for the short one from kick-off. Who's going to get this ball first? It's bouncing all over the place.
Come off Haven hands first. Could be Raiders and should be Raiders ball. It's going to be a Haven knock on. Yeah, it's going to be Raiders scrum down.
Woo, here we go. Edge of your seat stuff here at the Rec. 4 minutes remaining. The referee indicates scrum down, head and feet to the Raiders on the Whitehaven 30. And now, where do the tactics go? The Raiders look for that 1 point to level the games up. Any point will do in the Championship, as we've seen for many years. They all count. But surely they're going to look for that penalty, or they're going to look for that try. Raiders want to come away from the Rec with yet another victory, following on from that 18 points to 12 victory last time they came here. As now Barrow 20 metres out from that Whitehaven line now, then over on that far right hand side, bring the ball back towards Charlie Emsley in the middle of the field. Will Jake Carter be the absolute hero for Whitehaven against his one-time boyhood club, Barrow Raiders. As Barrow now then towards this left-hand side with Cresswell. Back on the inside with Stacks. Stacks looking for the offload, but he's got nobody in support, so he's having to go down 10 metres away from that Whitehaven line as Cresswell gets that ball out to Johnston, to Silver.
Incorrect play the ball. The Raiders have been pinned for that a few times this afternoon, Dan. It's been scruffy, especially in that red zone, and it's been this left-hand edge that they've been caught on a couple of occasions. Whitehaven survive. We make it less than 3 to go here on BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online.
That'll be it.
What a game of rugby league. Once again these two sides have fetched up as the rain has halted and the sun starts to creep through here at the recreation ground. We make it exactly 2.5 to go. Can Whitehaven keep hold of this? Can Gay grab the Derby Day spoils? Will Evans is the man to fetch the ball forward. He's going to be wrapped up here. Needs to be nothing stupid from Whitehaven. Simple one man up the jumper rugby. It's going to be George Hill then to fetch his ball forward. Raiders are the ones that need to try and force the error. Rothwell and Wilkinson combining that tackle. Jamie Dordan back out there in a dummy half. The ball in the hands of Curtis Tier. Wilkinson and Silver involved in that tackle.
Slow here, absolutely going through the motions. Whitehaven, it's no rush.
Jared Stack there leading the line, trying to get that there. Calls for a high tackle on Connor Holliday from Ryan Johnston, but waved away. Newton's in there at dummy half. Ball in the hands of Guy Graham. Gets the offload away into the hands of George Hill. George Hill's then going to be taken high, surely. No, the 5 and last. We make it. There's 100 seconds to go here at the recreation ground. And as Hannigan puts the kick in, it wasn't the best kick, but he bounces. It's the 5 and last. The Raiders are going to have one more opportunity. Dan Payne.
This is it. This is the final 90 seconds of the game, and Barrow are going to have one last chance, starting off their own 30-metre mark. Jordan Weir alongside me puts his head in hand. He goes hiding. I'm not surprised. Let's see how this set goes. It needs to be faultless. It needs to be one of the best sets they're going to play this year if they're going to come away with anything from the Rec. As now Ramon Silva, no nonsense stuff from him, drives the Raiders up towards the halfway line. 4 tackles to go. 4 more opportunities for the Raiders to steal the spoils here on this Derby Day, as Barrow found some space on that left hand side.
Ball hits the floor.
It's come out of the hands of Ryan Shaw. Whitehaven know that's all they need to do. That's it. That's enough for them to take the Cumbrian Derby spoils here. And once again, it's come down to just 1 point. And who'd have believed it? Who'd have believed the hero this afternoon?
He'd finished 23-22 last season. Ryan Johnston was the hero after the 80 minutes was up on that Monday night back in August. On a good Friday afternoon here in March, it seems like Jay Carter is the hero for Whitehaven. As Curtis T is the man to fetch the ball forward, we make it around about 10 seconds to go. That clock is not accurate. We're in the hands of the timekeeper behind us. Owen McCarran, ball in hand. He's just going to be pushed back. Newton in there at dummy half. Whitehaven 8 short of halfway. Then come across to Guy Graham. Graham just getting his head through the line. He's going to be taken down. It's a slow play of the ball. It's going to take as long as he can and long as he wants there. Then going to be James Newton to scoot from dummy half, seeing that the Raiders defensive line had jumped. Then it's going to be Jamie Dordan in at dummy half now. Coming down this short side once again. Jamie Dordan looking to go through the middle. It's the 5 and last. The hooter still hasn't sounded. The Raiders could have one more set. James Newton. It's just going to be wrapped up there as he's scooted from dummy half. How long to go? How long? 50 seconds, says Gareth Hewer. The Raiders have 50 seconds, Dan. They want to get anything from this game.
I do feel like it's a big ask. Whitehaven have definitely got the collars up here. Barrow playing almost like they've got the tails between the legs. They are trying everything they can to getting that ball out towards that right hand side. It's come to Bullman, who's had a relatively quiet game since that try in the opening 5 minutes here. As Barrow now has still got 65 or so metres to go as we approach the final 30 seconds. It's a kick come through from
Says
Costello.
It was played at, so the Raiders get a fresh set of 6. Not that they'll get all of them.
It's a fresh set then as that Costello was trying to do something as Barrow now going down this left hand side. Ryan Shaw takes Barrow to within 40 metres. The hooter here,
hand is on the hooter,
imminent. It's imminent here at the Rec as Barrow. Ryan Johnson looking for a drop goal attempt. It's become more of a grubber kick all the way through.
Courtesy with ball in hand, ball still not dead, but he throws it to the Kells end. It was 1 point last season in favour of the Raiders. This time on a Good Friday in March in 2024, Haven win by a point. The Cumbrian derby has lived up to its reputation once again. It's Whitehaven 23, it's Barrow Raiders 22, and it's Derby Day delightful. Johnty goal is Whitehaven. Wow, what a game. It was 12-18